right, number 3 for me. Here we go. The most underrated band of all time.
Brittany
Black and
Fox.
Blue.
Black and
Black and
blue?
Blue.
Holy moly.
I like it.
Been in my top 3 since their first album when I was 14. I know their catalog is pretty short. They have 4 wicked albums. 2 of their albums are in my top 10 of all time. We'll just start. And I've seen them live, got to see them live in Vegas at Count Babs. Wicked. I don't know. They're just so underrated. I know he doesn't like them. Well, you like them.
Yeah, they're okay.
Okay.
They're no Nickelback. They're no Nickelback.
Third best album from them, In Heat. My second favorite album, their self-titled one, has Hold On to 18 and School of Hard Knocks, Stronghold Rock, Chains Around Heaven. Oh, it's awesome. And my favorite album from Black and Blue would be Without Love, which is actually, I'm going to say, my third favorite album of all time.
Wow.
And just for the record, after Bon Jovi heard this album that Bruce Fairbairn produced, he said, I need to have that sound. So even Bon loves Black and Blue Without Love.
Interesting.
Side 1, completely flawless. Miss Mystery, Without Love, Stop the Lightning, Rockin' at Heaven's Door. Side 2, not as solid, but still, just the cover, just everything about that album, I absolutely love and adore. And that's my number 3.
They're a decent band, right? It's not like I don't like them.
Well, you could have them on number 1 if you want, Rock.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I don't know. They have some filler on all the albums, I think, but I think it's pretty cool how Gene Simmons was involved because I'm a big Gene fan. Bruce Fairbairn, I love Jamie St. James' voice. It's all good.
Tommy Thayer was way cooler in Black and Blue.
Did he wear the makeup back then?
Oh,
I can't remember if he did.
You mean, did he pretend to be somebody else? No, he was actually Tommy Thayer.
Wow.
I got to say, I think Black and Blue is one of the most underrated hair bands. Totally. I'm totally with you.
They are underrated because nobody remembers them at all.
No.
Oh, good.
I would have never heard of them except for you.
2 albums. I mean, Heat was okay, but the first 2, Hold On to 18.
Yeah, Nasty was really good too. I mean, I'll Be There For You is great. Does she or doesn't she?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was good. Good pick. Okay, so my number 3 artist would be Van Halen. I love the David Lee Roth era. I kind of like the Sammy Hagar era. I'm okay with it. I'm not a hater at all. I do like the Sammy Hagar era, but I'm not choosing any of his albums. I'm going 3 Dave albums for my favorite 3. My third favorite is the first Van Halen. That's my third favorite. It would have been a little bit higher.
Yeah, that dropped for you.
It dropped for me. Yeah. I kind of don't really like, well, I hate instrumentals. You know that, right? Even Eruption I can hate. Sorry, guys. I'm allowed to hate that. But I'm also not super crazy about On Fire. So that kind of brought it down a little bit.
You weren't there for the episode where we did that.
And,
no. And I said On Fire, and I'm the one with complete filler.
Yeah.
And then we had like an argument.
Yeah. See, that's exactly what I have written down here. I'm the one and On Fire. If it wasn't for those 2, or if they were a little bit better, it would have raised it up a little bit. So I'll use that as my number 3 Van Halen album. My second favorite album is Van Halen 2. I love every song except for the instrumental. Every song for me is good on that one. That's why it's a little bit higher than Van Halen 1.
There's an instrumental.
The cover of You're
Spanish
No Good.
Fly.
Oh, Spanish Fly.
Yeah. The cover of You're No Good, Linda Ronstadt tune, is outstanding. I love that song. I just love the production. I love the album cover, everything about it. My favorite Van Halen, I understand that some people won't like that. It's not Van Halen 3, but it's 1980. 1984 is my favorite. And I know most of the world is sick of Jump. I still love it. Love Panama. I'll Wait is my favorite song on that album.
Wow. Don't talk about Girl Gone Bad. Please.
Oh, actually, Girl Gone Bad is my favorite one, actually, now I think about it. No,
I'd rather listen to Social Disease.
No way.
No, you wouldn't.
Anyway, that's my favorite Van Halen album. 1984. Again, love the cover. Love all the videos that they did. Just the whole attitude. And it wasn't just Dave who had the attitude. It was all 4 of them at the same time, which really makes a great album, right?
Definitely.
So there you go. There's my number 3 band.
Good choice.
Awesome.
Jobber.
Okay,
When are you
this
going to
is where it
say
gets even.
loudness?
What's that?
When are you going to say loudness?
Yeah,
Save that
they're
for
an
number
honorable
1.
mention.
We're gonna constantly email them until they're playing that week we're in Japan.
Number 2 is going to be Ezo.
Yeah.
You can listen to it, drink Asahi, and eat the eel spines, and have yourself a great evening.
That's full on Japanese, full Japanese.
All right. Okay, go ahead, buddy.
So okay, number 3, Black Sabbath.
Okay.
3.
And I'm limiting this to strictly the original lineup.
Oh,
And then nothing against Dio or even Ian Gillan.
So you didn't have anything off of 13?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't listened to that album to any.
Don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry
you're not
about it.
missing
Okay.
anything.
Yeah, don't worry about
Didn't Rick Rubin produce that?
it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But Mutt Lang,
Well,
it wouldn't have helped.
Yeah.
I'm sticking strictly to the 70s, the original lineup. There's an interesting quote. Yeah, it said, Henry Rollins said, "You can trust yourself in the first 6 Black Sabbath albums. Like, you just can't go wrong with those."
That's a good quote.
Yeah.
So this is a tough call because I do like I like the Dio era as well, especially Mob Rules, but and even there's some bright spots and Technical Ecstasy and Never Say Die. Unfortunately, there's so much filler on those as well, but just there's something about that band and just the combination, Ozzy and Tony and Geezer and Bill, that just makes it absolutely magic. And they kind of created it as they went along. Like there was no, doom metal or thrash or heavy metal at the time. They just created like a blues rock band and just took it down a dark path, and it's spawned a lot of genres because of it. So choosing the top 3 albums is kind of a tough one. I mean, yeah, it doesn't change by day. I think it changes every 30 seconds. Like, oh, maybe, So, for me, the self-titled debut, it's something about there's certain bands like Van Halen, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath that just kick off with, they just start with a bang. Judas Priest took a while to work up. No offense, JT, rock and roll.
Bad Wings of Destiny affect us all.
But no, there was something really raw about the first album, and there's parts of it that are just creepy. The album cover is creepy, but I think they recorded in like 36 hours, and it was all live. So that's after that.
Nothing before that had ever sounded like that in rock and roll, and it was shocking when it came out.
And I think Ozzy said everybody in the hippie era was all about love and peace, and they were like, nah, we grew up in a steel town.
Birmingham.
Yeah, we're
Birmingham.
It's
Birmingham.
dark. Birmingham. Yeah. So the self-titled Sabotage, which often gets overlooked, but with just so many good songs of that. I mean,
Symptom of the Universe, Hole in the Sky,
Symptom of the Universe, yeah,
all of it all.
Then
Underrated.
Then they go into that Calypso thing at the end, which is really crazy.
Yeah, it's a cool album.
I really like Sabbath, actually. I mean, nowhere near as much as I like Ozzy, but I do love Sabbath. I appreciate them. I don't know them inside and out like you guys all do, but what I do find about Sabbath is I can't listen to them on shuffle at all. I have to listen to them like from the beginning of the record to the end, because it's just you have to be in a certain mood. I find I can't just listen to a one-off song. I can't listen to a song from Black Sabbath and then go into a song from Black and Blue. I can't do that. You know what I mean? It has to be a mood thing.
And that's one band you have to listen to on vinyl.
It helps.
It has to be on vinyl.
Yeah.
The thing about Sabotage is they've got these like real, very deep cuts that are just so amazing, like Hole in the Sky, that if the casual fan would never recognize, but it's probably my top 5 Sabbath song. But at the same time, it's got I'm Going Insane Radio, which
Which for
What
some
were you
reason,
guys
that was
thinking?
the only song off of Sabotage they put on We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll.
I know.
Why would
Yeah.
you have chosen that one?
It was the theme.
Could it be drugs?
They didn't. Those compilation albums, they had no input on what the track.
Yeah, true.
So some.
Yeah, I know, but
some executive in New York decided.
Yeah, but I mean, they nailed the other albums with the songs they put on. Like, that one baffles me. Anyway, sorry, Jobber.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was gonna say my number one. Again, Volume 4 came up, and there's some really good stuff on that, but I'd still have to go with Master Reality simply because it just sounds so amazing. There's not there. This is probably the only album that sounds like that. Like the guitar tone is so sludgy, but it's just amazing, and the rhythm section never sounded that as good as that.
No Paranoid
is just like you can hear it. You can actually. It's one of the few albums where you can actually feel the rhythm section.
Where was Paranoid?
Paranoid's always kind of. I mean, there's so many great songs on that, but it just kind of.
You've heard them.
Like War Pigs. I've heard a million times. Iron Man.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I mean, Sweet Leaf.
After Forever, easily the best song off that album.
Oh yeah, and like a love song to weed. It's just okay, guys. But yeah, I'd say Into the Void is really, really good. Children of the Grave. Yeah, no, it's just it's a signature album that I think kind of gets overlooked as well. So that's it. That's my number 3.
Sweet, nicely done.
Yes.
Ops.
Can I do one more honorable mention?
Of course, throughout the whole show.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with hair metal. So Del Barber, he's just outside of Winnipeg.
Stonewall?
What?
Is he from Stonewall?
No, I think he's from Innisfail.
Alberta?
That's Alberta.
Inglis, Manitoba. It's a very small town.
Yeah, it sounds small.
Yeah, no, it's tiny. He owns a restaurant there. But I've seen him 3 times. Almanac, awesome album.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like Blue Rodeo meets your buddy Core Blunt.
Yeah. No, I mean he's well known. The name's very familiar here, and
he's a prairie guy, and I just
has a great last name.
Barber. Also, one other shout out to Donovan Woods.
Okay.
You guys know Donovan Woods, Canadian singer-songwriter.
No.
Wife and I saw him in Kelowna last year, and I listened to that album probably more. The name of the album is called Things Were Never Good If They're Not Good Now. If you like songwriting, just listen to that album, and it takes you to a place. But in all honesty, my number 3, Eric Church, the Chief.
Okay.
Just to get a little country in there, I got to do it. Love Eric Church. I love his attitude. I love his songwriting. I love everything about the guy. He does it his way. He's an OG in my book, and he's influenced by, guess what, like Rat and Poison and all these bands that we like. A lot of these country guys were influenced by those guys, but he's a little more bluesy. My top 3 albums for him are The Outsiders. This is a heck of an album. Desperate Man, really like this one, but Chief is my favorite. Eric Church, just so bluesy. So his song Springsteen is such an amazing song. Like, just his songwriting for me is unbelievable. And some of it's fairly heavy. If you listen to some of the stuff on The Outsiders, it's got some kind of Bon Jovi-esque riffs in some of those songs. But yeah, he's the real deal.
Oh, yeah, I'll check it out for sure. Yeah,
Eric Church, I remember when he started to get really popular with people I knew, which was 15 years ago, 20 years ago. And a lot of people said it was just it was a complete change in the way that country music was being produced and arranged. And it was, like you said, he's kind of like the Springsteen. You didn't say that, but I mean,
yeah,
he's like the Springsteen of country roots rock at that time, a very, very unusual sound. And he kind of wore his beliefs in his heart on his sleeve. He's not the contrived Tim McGraw. He's not even, and I'm nothing against Brad Paisley, but even Brad Paisley sort of contrived, but not Eric Church is always just here's a guy with a guitar who's going to tell you what he wants to sing about.
And he started out as a lot of those country guys did, doing a lot of rock stuff. Like
they had to,
yeah, exactly. That's where they made their money. But he's OG for me. So
I think part of the reason that a lot of those guys from that generation started in rock and ended up in country or country rock or roots rock was that where you would be found in rock and roll was a bunch of different competing scenes all over North America. But when you wanted to be found for country, you went to one place. And if you could blow everyone's doors off in Nashville, you got noticed, right? And it's the hardest place it is. There's 50 people on any given night in Nashville on a Thursday night competing, right? But if you're the best, you don't have to travel. You got to be in one place because no one gives a damn what you're doing in Atlanta or Memphis. They care about what you're doing in Nashville. Whereas in rock and roll, it was like in those days, there's a million bands playing everywhere. It might be London, it might be New York, it might be LA, it might be San Francisco. Yeah, exactly. So you can't concentrate where you're going to find, if you're looking for talent, you can't find it. And everybody knows there's only one Nashville.
Yeah. But to me, one of those guys that didn't really care. He's just going to do what he does. Right. And it just happened to sell.
Sure. But the confidence in being in that environment is super hard. It's like you're in a training camp with the Olympic players, right? Yeah. Nashville's the only city like that musically. If you're that good, you're going to get noticed right away. Whereas you could be that good in prog rock and play in Stockholm for 15 years and no one will fucking know who you are, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? And execution with pressure,
That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
There was no prog rock before yes.
It's like Sunset Strip times 100.
Yeah, exactly. And Nashville's still like that, from what I hear anyways.
Okay, good choice. Yeah.
Number 3, we're going to have the first double up here. I'm Van Halen as well for number 3. I went back and forth between number 3 and number 2. I just went on how much I listened to and how much I play of the band, and Van Halen went up number 3, and the band that was number 2 10 years ago wouldn't have been in my top 10, but they are now.
Warrant.
Yes, Warrant, way to go, JT.
Okay, so we just with Van Halen. Interesting what Rock was saying about which albums he chose, and similar to mine, very close. Van Halen 2 would be my 3rd album. Women and Children First, my 2nd, and 1984 is my 1st. And
oh wow,
it's not Girl Gone Bad is just not carrying the whole album. It's a great album.
That's right. It is a great album. I'm actually kind of surprised that you had 1984 as your favorite, though.
It is, and like there's times when I listen to Van Halen 2 more, but definitely 1984. Just to me, like you said, it captures so many giant pieces of that era. Like that to me is Grade 9. Grade 9 doesn't have any other album. It just has 1984, the videos and the rise of videos, the rise of MTV, the rise of Much Music, the rise of Saturday afternoon videos, and the craziness of the caricatures that were created. The Monkey Show and Dave, and everyone has their own personality, like you say, and it was a vindication of adolescent raunchy behavior. Like Hot for Teachers, just like that video will come up on the algorithm when me and Christine are watching videos, and she'll be like, can you imagine if somebody released this video today? Like there's grade 6 kids throwing money at a teacher who's stripping. It's impossible, right?
Man, 80s.
Yeah, it was a time.
It was a time.
Well, I really appreciate your top 3 albums. I actually thought you were a Fair Warning guy, though, to be honest.
I love Fair Warning, and I've liked it more in the past, but I'm just going with what I listen to more. And
you got to do it.
The magneticism of Van Halen 2 to me, it constantly, every time I'll hear a piece of it when I'm not expecting to hear it, I'm like, wow.
Yeah. That was my very first Halen album.
Yeah.
Yeah, John McIntosh gave me that album. Okay, we are on to number 2. I'm actually gonna give my wife her shout outs. Prince, Lenny Kravitz, The Killers, Post Malone. Yeah, I'm just gonna give my wife some shout outs there. Okay. My number 2, Ozzy Osbourne. Just gonna be quick and brief. We've done so many episodes on Ozzy, rest in peace. Yeah, I don't know what else you can say. I mean,
yeah, we've kind of covered Ozzy, but we got to hear your 3 albums. So.
Number 3 would be Ultimate Sin. Flawless side 2, one of the best sides of any album ever. Number 2 would be Diary of a Madman. It's a beauty, eh?
Yeah,
and then number 1, Blizzard of Oz. We'll just keep it short and sweet because we've done so much on Ozzy. But number 2, and that's it. On to you.
See, we both love Ozzy so much because he was my number 5.
Yeah.
But we only had one common album out of the 6, which is Blizzard, right?
I know. That's what I love about this.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah. Beauty. Yeah. Beauty. Okay. My number 2 artist, I am going with Bon Jovi. Kind of like Otto had mentioned, although I'm a massive Bon Jovi fan.
There you are.
I can't get into stuff over the last 20 years or so. Maybe one good song per album, and I give it a lot of opportunity. I really do. So that part sucks. But in saying that, they're still my number 2 favorite artist. 3rd favorite album from them is New Jersey. There isn't a bad song on there, except for if you want to maybe say Homebound Train is maybe not that great,
that's
right?
Maybe the only one. Yeah.
But I mean, every other song is so good. Numerous classics. We've Lived Our Life by Blood on Blood as well.
Yeah,
so
Blood on Blood, baby.
Love that song.
Stick to Your Guns.
Stick to Your Guns is so great. It's such a great album. I love it.
Yeah.
My 2nd favorite Bon Jovi is Slippery When Wet. Again, full of classics other than Social Disease, but I'll take Living on a Prayer. Wanted Dead or Alive is probably my favorite song of all time, of all genres, of all artists. So that's my number 1. Kind of flip-flops with Sweet Child of Mine and No More Tears, those 3 songs.
That's true.
So I friggin' love that album. My favorite Bon Jovi album, though, is These Days from 1995. And
Wow.
I'm probably going to get kicked right in the groin, but
by Hops.
I'll take it.
I've accepted that.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, we're friends, so I'm going to accept that.
Yeah, it's taken 30 years for him to accept that I love that album, but I really do. Richie's background vocals are outstanding. The guitar playing, he's awesome guitar playing.
Something to Believe In.
Something to Believe In is one of the best songs you could ever hear from any artist. Hoopster, I bet you love that song too. It's great, right?
I sure do.
For the mid 90s too, had a couple of cool videos. It's just a great album, and a lot of people kind of ignore it because it was kind of after the golden years for the most part, but I love it. Hey God is another great one. So if you haven't checked it out, you got to go see it. It's Something for the Pain. It's cool. Cool video too.
Yeah.
So that's my Bon Jovi 3-pack.
Jobber?
Van Halen.
Right.
This was tough. This 1 and 2 kind of flip-flopped multiple times. In fact, it flip-flopped during this episode. So Van Halen is now my number 2.
Oh,
okay. Can I say one
On
thing
the
before you
fly.
continue?
Inch hitting Owatani.
I'm just glad because I know who your number 1 is, and well, it better be who I think it is, because if you say the Doors, I'm gonna fly to top.
The Doors.
Okay, sorry, go.
That's
That
awesome.
would
Not that the Doors are a bad band, but let's see. So Van Halen, yeah, I mean, everyone's discussed them ad nauseum, so we know even they've spanned multiple singers. Each era has its own unique traits to it. And yeah, I do like a lot of Sammy material, but I'm still a classic Van Halen guy through and through. And it's tough there's so many runner-ups with Van Halen that I mean, there's even decent tracks in Diver Down. You can I mean,
I love it.
Diver Down would probably be a solid album for a lesser band for sure. So yeah, we've done this before, but Women and Children First would be my number 3. Just I mean, yeah, there's some silly stuff on that, but
whoa.
Even like the Diamond in the Rough, Simple Rhyme, which gets overlooked, but it's just such an amazing song. Self-titled. I mean, again, another amazing debut where they just hit the ground running and they just changed the game. I think this really is the debut album for 80s rock. Because
Yeah,
it's not really a 70s album.
it isn't at all. It doesn't sound like it to me.
Yeah.
Like it's up there. It's as much of a changer as Jimi Hendrix's debut was, where everyone's like, "Oh my God, play guitar like that? What the hell?" I thought we were good guitar players, and we're obviously not. So, and yeah, there's
Yeah,
sorry.
you listen to how that album sounds, and then you listen to something else from '78, like say "Never Say Die" or something. And you're like this is not even in
Yeah.
this category.
Even Ted Nugent
Yeah.
and later Deep Purple was nothing like that.
No.
No, you just create a whole new sound that would become what we know of 80s rock, heavy metal and rock, hair metal as well. And of course, for me, Fair Warning is my number one, and you knew that. But
I do that.
again, it reminds me like Master Reality. No other album sounds like that one for Van Halen, and I still think it's the best guitar playing. It has the most unusual songs. Like it wasn't even supposed to be a Van Halen album. It was going to be a Eddie Van Halen solo album, and then Van Halen kind of. I think Eddie was ready to quit his own band, and he just poured all his angst, and that's why it's so angry. It's the ultimate Brown Sound album. So
Yeah, hang 'em high.
and
Awesome.
if you can, open and it has the ultimate opening song. Like, can you guess which one I'm talking
Mean
about?
Street.
Mean
Yep.
Street,
Yeah.
Yeah, Mean Street, Dirty Movies,
Unchained,
later.
it sits with me.
Jobber,
That's a great
we know how dangerous it was at lunch hour to go to Rocks on Van Horn because that was the mean.
That's right.
That was Mean Street.
That was Mean Street.
Turned the
Yeah.
hunter from hunted went to hunt somebody down. Is that
Rock's mom might have caught us skipping a spare. That's how dangerous
That's
it
right.
his
Have you seen Junior's grades?
was.
dude?
He has four
Half
X,
his
four X
classes
spares.
spares.
It was like if there is ever any question as to whether Rock could do science, his construction of his grade 11 and 12 schedules was genius. It was mathematically impossible to me. I'm like, there's no way you get this many spares and you graduate. He goes, oh yeah, it is. I did it all. I looked through it all. It was like he spent hours and hours figuring it out how you could actually not go to school and graduate.
That's right. It's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty.
We had a lot of spares back then. But how stupid were we to walk past your house to get to Marty's? We could have taken another street.
We could have.
Just saying.
That's a good point.
We could have avoided Mean Street. That's right.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, Dirty Movies is also a highlight.
Yeah.
I think I was gonna say, getting back to Dave's lyrics are so on point in this album. But they really do match Eddie's guitar. And I was gonna say Van Halen doesn't have a weak link. Michael Anthony is not the slickest bass player, like doing crazy lines, but he's so solid, and he is. Seeing him live, he is absolutely
he was
monster.
the glue, man.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
And no one who ever played with him complained about him.
And like I said, when I was talking about Van Halen, all four of them had their own kind of image, and they had their swagger, and they even had, as the kids say, riz. They even have riz.
Wow. So Rock's kid had a debriefing with him before he
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to not sound like you're 80?
Yeah, she's poking me. Hey, Dad, make sure you say this word.
But you know what? He should never say that again.
Oh, you there's an earlier episode where you go, oh, my girl said that when you say something's cool, you say it's slapping. That didn't last very long.
That's true.
That's
True.
true.
That slaps.
That slaps.
Now it slays.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh
slays.
my,
I was gonna.
Or it's cringe, but that might be too old now too.
oh my God.
Yeah, 'cause,
Anyway.
it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
about
we
6,
got to
7.
get off this topic, or we're gonna get in
So
trouble.
before we get we're going to move on. Before we move to Mark, or Hops. I was going to say JT. Got to keep the damn names straight here. There's just Van Halen has this. I mean, they're obviously heads and shoulders musically above most bands, but on paper, Eamon Smile Band, Billy Sheehan, Steve Vai, Greg Bissonette are technically better than the players in Van Halen, but
World, yeah.
there's just something about the sum of the parts that kind of exceeds
when my wife
that.
first saw Yankee Rose, she goes, "What the hell is going on?"
Mhm.
It was the video. And if she just heard the song,
Glazed donut.
we also, when me and Otto were talking about Brittany Fox or Brighton Rock, one of these B bands from the 80s.
Easy.
Not B level, but starting with the letter
Okay,
B, right?
That's what I meant.
A level bands.
Brittany Fox.
When you play them around the fire and you don't see the video, they're really good bands. When you see the video, I am not seeing Dizzy Dean in fucking fishnets ever again.
Okay, that's Brittany Fox, and yes, their debut album was wicked.
Music's good. Music's good. Videos are horrible. How about that? And
I
then
like their second.
Yeah.
No, the first was better. Lyrics are pretty cheesy.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pops, where are you going with number 2?
Well, the more we're talking, the more I need to do shout outs because I forgot quite a few bands that probably should be in this list. Scorpions for me.
Oh, yeah.
Scorps, yeah.
Found them late, but wish I found them earlier. Skid Row, I got to give props.
Yeah, gotta mention Skid.
Obviously, Zeppelin, legendary. And Kicks.
Okay.
Had some great songs.
That's a surprising choice.
Yeah.
Did anyone mention Aerosmith too?
No. Oh God, yeah. That's and honestly, that could have easily been in my top 3 or 4 for sure. But it's
Aerosmith.
I love Aerosmith.
They might make my 40.
What? Oh, I love Aerosmith.
Wow.
They'd probably make my 10.
We differ on that. I like the roots of hair metal for me, which is blues. So Cinderella kind of hit it in some of their later stuff, like Aerosmith. Like I think Tesla, right? It's more of a bluesy. Black Crowes. That's why I like those guys. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. My number 2 is R.I.P. Ozzy Osbourne. I will say this because we're not doing greatest hits.
5 in the air.
We're not doing greatest hits, but my favorite Ozzy Osbourne album is Tribute. And I listened to that album like so much, you have no idea. But I'm not going to pick that because I'm going to be fair because it's not really, it's kind of a greatest hits, right?
Yeah.
Randy Rhoads.
5, yeah.
But I would say for me, Blizzard of Oz in this order. So number 3, Blizzard of Oz, Ultimate Sin.
Nice.
And then Diary of a Madman, number 1.
Wow.
Over Blizzard. Wow. Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
What's your favorite track off of that?
Off of, Blizzard?
Diary. Off of Diary.
Diary? Is there? I was going to say a guitar solo, but I know it might piss you off. So it's not D? Can I say that?
D was off Blizzard, wasn't it?
D was off Blizzard, yeah.
Yeah, D was off Blizzard.
Oh, I'm thinking of Tribute now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's Over the Mountain or You Can't Kill Rock and Roll.
I love Over the Mountain.
I know Flying High Again is like...
Flying High Again. No, Flying High Again. Again, like I think of Tribute when I think of that song.
Yeah.
Love that song. I love all of Randy's solos. And so that Tribute album for me was amazing. You get Ozzy's kind of, for me, it's always like a whining voice that he has. It's that, but it's very melodic. It's background. And it's like the stuff he did in Sabbath. There's no mistaking who's singing. You know the second he kicks in, you're like, oh, that's Ozzy, right? Yeah. There's not many singers that do that. But I could go either way on those top 2, to be honest with you. I kind of struggle with that. But again, I like...
They're so great.
Yeah. And
Tribute's a cool album because you have Ruby Sarzo and Tommy Aldridge. And I like I Don't Know is the opening track, and I listen to that once a week easily. But hearing Randy Rhoads do the Black Sabbath doing Black Sabbath tunes is really cool.
Yeah. There was a lot of criticism at that period, I think, when Ozzy had some after Randy. I don't know if it was Jake or Brad Gillis.
Yeah.
There's some live stuff where I think Jake listened to it and he's like, "Wow, that did not sound like Black Sabbath. I don't know what the hell was going on." But they weren't hired to play Black Sabbath.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? They're hired to play Ozzy, but they had
Yeah.
to do some Sabbath stuff for that period of time.
Well, they look at Zach Wild. Everybody he threw in there was just like the real deal.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, Zach Wild, my stepbrother, he's flown around the country to see him and loves him, and he's a great guitar player. But I mean, it's Zach Wild's kind of like a shotgun when you need a 22 for Tony Iommi, right? Like, I mean, Tony Iommi has to have a sound, and it is Tony Iommi, and Tony Iommi's not the
George Lynch couldn't do that.
no, and Eddie Van Halen couldn't do it. And I think I heard a bootleg tape rock played for me once of Van Halen doing a Sabbath cover, and it just sounds ridiculous, like absolutely ridiculous. You just don't do it, right? Like, I mean, you don't need to.
But there's that
It's because you want to fuck around, right?
there's that story though when Eddie met Tony and he said he played him the whole Master Reality album.
Yeah.
And Tony said, "Wow, the guy can play my stuff." And then he listened to Van Halen one. He goes, "I can't play his."
Yeah. Well, no, without a doubt on the technical level, I'm being more like the actual execution of the sound. It's like,
Yeah.
It's bad example would be like you're watching college football versus professional football. It's like the college football team can be absolutely freaking genius at what they do, and the NFL team can't reproduce it. But it's just a different. There's very few people you can compare to Eddie Van Halen in terms of what he does. Tony is exactly what Tony is, totally original, 100%
Yep.
perfect. But
Yep.
in your mind, and like the only time I ever had to get in the mind of a guitar player, not just struggling to play the notes of everything, the only time I had to actually do that, because I've listened to so much Black Sabbath. Once I had the tuning right, and there's so many weird tunings on Black Sabbath, you wouldn't believe it. Once all the songster stuff came out, the tunings are crazy. The tapes are sped up and slowed down. None of it's actually on the early albums, like especially Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. It's really weird. I can intuitively, because I have a metal background, get a sludgy sound like Tony if I have to. I'm not saying it's close, but it doesn't bug me. You know what I mean? I can play along with it and I can get close enough to it. And with Van Halen, you're just struggling to play the notes and you know how to get the sound and everything. The only guitar player that ever freaked me out ever trying to figure out was Keith Richards. It was all so backwards from the way you play guitar. And there's these little trills and everything. Nothing's played the same way every single bar. And for me, I'd have to have like 10 beer, think about the Stones, listen to the Stones, and then try and get something close. Like, Can't You Hear Me Knocking's freaking a nut job show. So is Monkey Man. So all this stuff, it was like, because it's not like sitting down and learning Rush. Where you sit down and learn Rush, you go, I got to play this fast. And I got to hammer these notes, right?
It's
And I'm talking about bass.
More clinical.
It is. It's clinical, and you can hear everything super clearly what Geddy Lee is doing on bass. You just got to try and do it. There's no questions as to what's going on. When you get into the Stones, it's like, well, Keith's doing this and Keith's doing that, and it's like, well, why did he do it differently every second bar? It's a weird mentality, and I think that's kind of the thing that with Black Sabbath, if you don't get Sabbath, you can't play it.
And also there's two Tonys. There's the riff master Tony, and then there's the gypsy jazz Tony, which is
and
like the Django Reinhardt kind of like, and somehow he manages to weave them together in a way that's really unusual.
That's the thing that's so weird about Supernaut is that when we tried to work on a different way of reconstructing the weird gypsy interlude in it, and you can use all these weird jazz chords and you can use harmonic minors on it and you can use these diminished solos on it and you play them all over and it all works. It's like it shouldn't work, but Tony did have that period, and it's like the song Fluff and all these other things there is. And so Keith and Tony probably have Keith is a known gypsy, but Tony probably has that gypsy background too.
Symphony of the Universe outro is another example.
Exactly. And they're gypsies are just unusual people until you meet them. Okay, so I'm on number 2.
Yep.
Went back and forth between 2 and 3, as Jobber was saying, between these 2 and 1. 10 years ago, I wouldn't have said this, but the past 2 years, playing a lot of it, listening to a lot of it. Obviously, you guys have a big influence, meaning Rock and Otto. Kiss.
Nice.
Way to go.
Yeah. So I think it was. I think
all these years you are kind of cool then.
Thanks. I think the episode when we were talking about Unmasked and the anger you two had between each other about Torpedo Girl specifically, but the whole album. I'm like, how can anybody talk this deeply about an album that I thought was completely irrelevant? And then I started listening to it, and then we listened to it like probably 50 or 60 times this year, and I'm fascinated by it. I love so many songs on it, and it's probably the only Kiss album I listened to every single song of multiple times in the past 5 years. Not just picking a track, the whole album. And I love it. It's so weird. It's so strange, so underrated for a Kiss album. And not even, forget about underrated, degraded, criticized. People angry about it. And so my top 3, obviously, is going to be, I'm going to take number 3 behind me. Worst production of any well-selling album.
Fair.
It sounds like they recorded it at Sesame Street. But the songs are incredible. So Hotter Than Hell is my number 3.
Wow.
Number 2 is going to be Unmasked. And I love Unmasked. But I have to go with, the album that made me get into rock, which is
Destroyer.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
I love it.
I want to know your top 2 tracks off of Destroyer.
Top 2 tracks off the Destroyer are Sweet Pain and I love Sweet Pain. It's
a great song.
That's a DQ thing.
Yeah, it is a DQ thing.
Yeah.
Sweet Pain, and I would go probably I love Detroit Rock City.
I love that too.
So I'd have to I'll take Detroit Rock City.
Great song.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so
number one.
Number 1.